Hey everyone, Ben here again with another video, and today what we're going to be talking about is my experience with Chrome OS. Over the last 10 years, I've used Mac OS, Windows, and now Chrome OS. And I just want to talk about what it's been like, because it's actually my first time using Chrome OS. And especially in the early days, I heard stories about how awful Chrome OS was without an internet connection, but I think most people would find this the case with any operating system. But when you don't have an internet connection on Chrome OS, you can still play downloaded games, open up terminal and write code, write documents, and even edit videos. And that really surprised me. I was even able to plug in a 30-year-old PC controller, and without searching for any drivers, it just worked. I'm sure there are things that Chrome OS can't do, but suffice it to say, I was very impressed. It even has offline files, just like a regular computer. The next thing I thought was really impressive was the app/software collection. Now, as far as I know, you can't download or use any programs that aren't part of the Google Play Store or a Chrome extension, but because of that, the App Store seems incredibly robust. Not only does it have Chrome OS applications, but it also has a ton of regular Android applications. Anything you can download on an Android smartphone, you can also download on Chrome OS. So the selection is miles better than the Mac App Store or the Windows App Store. You can download other browsers, tons of games, benchmark software, utilities, etc. Speaking of software though, I want to talk about updates. My Chromebook, despite being 6 years old, got consistent, timely updates. They were easy to download and install, and I never had any issues updating the computer. And now Google says they will support Chromebooks for 8 to 10 years after purchase, which is more than I can say for my Mac or Windows computers. And it appears to be being borne out in reality. So that's very impressive on the part of Google to offer that level of support. Overall, the design of Chrome OS was simple while sacrificing almost no compatibility. It was familiar because the design language was so much like that of Android. It was fun to explore the new paradigms and experiment with how things worked on this new OS. And I look forward to seeing what designs and capabilities are added in the future as the OS continues to evolve. I'm just a tech guy, and I love seeing more competition and more ideas in the computer space. I still wish there was this amount of options and competitions when it comes to phone operating systems, but unfortunately Microsoft pulled the plug on Windows Phone. Now I want to talk a little bit about the device I used with Chrome OS. It's a HP Chromebook X360 14G1. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which seemed to be a lot when it came out, but now is seemingly the only option for Chromebooks. They do technically sell Chromebooks with 16 gigabytes of RAM, but they're far too expensive for the level of product that you're getting. And the processing power of this has been just enough to not be a problem, but I don't think it'll be usable a great deal longer. What I did love on this laptop though was the selection of ports. There's 2 USB-C, 1 USB-A, a headphone jack, and a micro SD card slot. And I love how the buttons on the device are more like on a phone where the power and volume buttons are on the side. Now technically this laptop can transform itself into a tablet, but I never found it to be very useful because it's far too large and unwieldy for that sort of usage. Now you can use a phone charger to charge this device, but it takes days to charge with one of those. To get a more realistic charging time, you need to get a specialized charger for it, which I never ended up getting. Also, the battery life is still decent despite the age of the device, and I could get just over 4 hours of screen on time with a full charge. The screen on this device is also 1080p and looks good, if not amazing. It definitely helps that it uses a glossy screen, which makes colors look more deep and vibrant. The device also has an aluminum body, which definitely made it feel more sturdy and less likely to break. Luckily, I haven't had any horrible dropping incidents, so I can't report how it would hold up in that sort of scenario. The trackpad on the device is also very nice. It's extra large, wide, and glass, and supports a lot of multi-touch gestures. The speakers on this are also really nice. I never had to put them above 50% volume. They're up here at the top of the keyboard, and they sounded good, So the Bang & Olufsen branding seems to make sense. The chiclet style keyboard is also nice as well. It's not too loud and I got used to it quickly. My only real complaint with the device is the dumb rubber strips on the bottom. They started to come off shortly after getting the device, and it was hard to find replacements that fit, so I eventually just gave up on the rubber strips. Although some of that is to be expected given that the device is 6 years old. So would I recommend Chrome OS? And the answer is yes, I definitely would. And let me explain why. Now, the first reason is the software updates. Normally, when you get a computer, you're lucky to get 5 years of software updates. And that's when you don't buy something on clearance well into its life cycle. So the option to use a Chromebook basically as long as you want is a really nice feature. Besides that, they're incredibly easy to use and have tons of software. Basically, anything you want to do, you can find a way to do it with Chrome OS. With the addition of Terminal, the ability to run Linux and Android applications, there really are so many options for what you can do. Also, because the software doesn't cost anything to OEMs, a similar spec device running Chrome OS can be had for less than one running Windows or Mac OS. So if you find a good deal on a Chromebook and are curious about it, I'd say definitely give it a shot. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This has been Ben. If you did like the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And have a great rest of your day.